Hey gorgeous! Welcome back to Beyond Lust with me, Paloma. In today's episode, I'm serving a Met Gala 2025 inspired look called Tailored for You. And honey, the eye makeup is big, bold, and ready to eat your ego alive. If you want to see how I transformed into this dramatic cunty fantasy, keep on watching. Alright, let's get into it. Starting with the brows. First thing I do is brow blocking. I take 70% alcohol and wipe off any oil around my brows. Then, I grab my trusty Elmer's purple glue stick and start gluing those brows down. I brush them up with a spoolie, then flatten them with the back of it. I do this twice just to make sure they are really locked in. Once that's dry, I set everything with one size translucent setting powder. Be generous when you apply this powder, the more the merrier. And then using this big fluffy brush, I dust away all the excess powder. Now, to hide the brows, I use my holy grail, which is Crayolan TV Paint Stick in 4W. I've tried a bunch of concealers and foundations, but nothing beats this. The coverage is amazing. Here, as you can see, I applied the second layer of Crayolan TV Paint Stick in order to cover my brows completely. I like to take my time for this process because brow blocking is the crucial part in drag makeup. After blending it out, I set it again with one size powder. As you can see, I really press it in to get that smooth, flat base. Now, let's move on to the eyes. I start with Cozy Grey eyeshadow from MAC as a base. I blend it from the outer corner and take it into the crease. Keep blending until it's nice and soft. Then, I add a dark brown eyeshadow to shape and deepen the look. With dark eyeshadow, less is more because you can always add more, but it's hard to take away. Next, I go in with white Crayolan TV Paint Stick to cut the crease. I take my time here and use a small flat brush to get that clean, crisp line. Now, for some sparkle, I set the cut crease with white frost eyeshadow. This shade pops so beautifully under the lights. Then, I pack Starry Night eyeshadow from the same palette all over the eyelid. Look at that shimmer, babe. To smoke it out, I use MAC Carbon eyeshadow for that sultry glam effect. I go back in with Starry Night in the crease using a small brush. And then deepen everything again with Carbon eyeshadow for more drama. For mascara, I use a light coat of MAC Stack Mascara just to prep the lashes before falsies. It's time for skin and base. First, I spray MAC Fix Plus Magic Radiance all over for that juicy glow. Then, I apply MAC Hyper Real Skin Canvas Balm as my primer. This makes everything go on smooth and helps blur out any texture. For foundation, I'm using Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. The coverage of this foundation is just like Crayolan but more hydrating. You only need a little, and look at that flawless finish. Perfection. For contour, I go in with Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Cream Duo. I contour my cheekbones, temples, and jawline. This product blends so easily without any streaks. For highlight, I'm using Kevyn Aucoin Skin Enhancer as well, but slightly lighter than my foundation shade. Highlight can really step up your makeup game. Your mug looks more professional when you have highlight on. For instance, look at my cheekbone now. What a transformation. Nose contour and highlight is very important for my drag makeup look. I naturally have big face, so nose contour helps to feminize my face and make it appear smaller. To set everything, I use one size translucent setting powder again. I like to use powder puff for this process, and don't forget, be generous. Next, I bronze using MAC Sunstruck Bronzer in medium matte golden. I start with my cheeks and move up to my temples and hairline. I also use it along my jaw and nose bridge to tie it all together. Then I add blush. I'm using MAC Raisin, one of the best blushes ever. Trust me, get it for yourself. On top of that, I add MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Gold Deposit for a golden glow. And for the nose, a little MAC Soft and Gentle highlighter. So cute. Back to the eyes. I use carbon eyeshadow again under the eyes with a small flat brush. This gives that clean, smoky wing. Then, I blend it out with a small brush for a soft finish. And now it's lash time. Top and bottom lashes for that full-on cunty drama. I use MAC Brushstroke Liquid Liner in black to paint over the lashes so they look sharp and seamless. Finally, the lips. I start with MAC Chestnut Lip Pencil to overline my lips. I always start from the top part of my lips, then the bottom. I have to confess though, uneven lines drive me nuts. Alright, next step is I blend it inward with a brush for a soft ombre look. No lipstick for this one, just a juicy gloss on top for that sexy plump finish. And voila! There you have it, the final look. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more transformations. See you next time, babe!